knees bent. Allow the heaviness of your bones, especially that triangular bone at the base of the spine, your sacrum, to sink back, spread wide across the floor. If it's comfortable for you to extend your heels away from the crown of your head, you can do that. If that causes any discomfort, knees bent, feet wide, knees fall together. Bring your awareness to your breath and take a moment to check in with yourself before we really get moving. Notice the quality of your breath before your yoga practice. Notice if your chest feels tight or open. If your breath is short or long. If the inhales or the exhales bear more weight in this moment. And then take a moment to consciously deepen your breath. Bring your awareness to your diaphragm, and as you inhale, feel it expand downward. As you exhale, soften back and spread wide across the floor. Next inhale, take the awareness past your diaphragm, all the way down into the bottoms of your feet and the tips of your toes. And as you exhale, sink into the support of the ground beneath you. Feel that stacking of the bones and joints in the back body plane that allows the skeletal system to support you. And we'll do a quick scan through the physical body from the bottoms of your feet and the tips of your toes. Inhale and pull your awareness up through your legs, into your pelvis, your hips, your low back. Notice any areas of tension, soreness, general discomfort. Use your breath to go there. Inhale deeply, gently open and expand. Exhale completely. Allow tension to leave your body with your breath. Next inhale pulls your awareness of your torso into your shoulders, your neck, and your face. Once again, just notice where in your upper body you're holding tension today, and breathe into those areas. Create space. Invite fresh blood and oxygen to flow through, bringing health, healing, vitality. As you exhale completely, continue the conversation of consciously asking your body to soften, release, and let go. Lastly, observe your mind. Notice where your thoughts are at. Observe the speed at which they move through you. Take a big step back from identifying as your thoughts. Witness their passing through your mind like clouds through the sky, without getting attached or carried away, without judging yourself for what you're thinking about, but beginning to notice habits and patterns, in the way your mind turns, in the way that you speak to yourself. Then bring your awareness back and anchor it fully on your breath. We'll begin by stretching our legs, laying on our backs. So if you have a strap or a dog leash or a belt or a scarf, you are welcome to take it around the upper arch and the lower ball of your foot. If you don't have a strap, you can always just interlace your hands behind your thigh, or maybe you can reach your two right peace fingers around your right big toe for yogi toe lock. Whatever choice you make, extend your left leg out along the ground, toes flexed and active, pointing up. Extend your right leg up towards the ceiling. Oh, baby, are you okay? Press out through both heels and feel how that lengthens the back of your leg. Press the whole midline of the left leg firmly into the floor, opening up through your hip flexor. Right thigh bone presses away from the crown of your head. This is a very important action to lengthen the lower back on the right side. So it's even with the lower back on the left side. And then begin to draw the leg more actively towards yourself. 3 more deep, long breaths. Breathing into those places that feel tight and sore and stuck. As you exhale completely, soften more deeply into the stretch. Take the strap or just your right hand, right fingers, and release your left arm. Open the right leg out to the right side. Press out through both heels and the balls of both feet. Press still the whole midline of your left leg hugs towards the floor. Right thigh bone is still rooting down, away from the crown of your head. As you press out through your right heel, soften your lower abdomen back and turn it to the left. 3 more deep, long breaths. Breathing into the places that feel tight and sore and stuck. Softening more deeply as you exhale. Looking to create as much balance and evenness in the grounding of your back body as you can here. Inhale that right leg to center. Press through both heels and the balls of both feet. Root both thigh bones down. Take your strap in your left hand, yogi toe lock with the left fingers, or just support your inner thigh with your left arm as you begin to take that right leg across to the left side body. Again, your left toes are flexed and active, pointing up. Left inner thigh grounding down. Lifting that right heel up towards the height of the hip as you circumferentially root the outer right hip down towards the left heel. Abdomen softens back and turns to the right here. 3 more deep, long breaths. Inhale back to center. Release your foot from the strap and lower your leg to the mat. Shimmy out your hips a little bit. Observe the different sensations, the different sides of your body. And then moving to create balance, take that left heel up towards the ceiling, taking whatever variation you took on the other side, maybe with the strap, maybe interlacing the hands behind the thigh, maybe yogi toe lock. Press out through both heels and then the balls of both feet. Feel how each action creates an effect in the engagement of the muscles in the legs. Right thigh bone grounds down firmly. towards the floor. Left thigh bone presses away from the crown of the head. Maintaining that length and space in the lower back on the left side. Draw the left leg more actively towards yourself. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. Breathe into the places that feel tight and sore and stuck. And creating new neural pathways as you exhale, consciously asking those places to soften, release, and let go more deeply into the stretch. Take your strap into your left hand or use your left hand to support your left leg in some way. Press your whole right side body down firmly as you open your left leg out to the left side. Remember, we don't want to just flop the leg down, right? We want to be really engaged and intentional. Press through both heels and the balls of both feet. Press your whole midline of your right leg firmly towards the floor. And still your left thigh bone pressing away from the crown of the head, creating balance and evenness in the grounding of the sacrum, the lengthened space in your lower back on both sides. Press out through your left heel and soften your abdomen back and turn it to the right. Ground the back of the ribs and kidneys evenly. 3 more deep, long breaths here. Inhale your leg back up to center. Reconnect and recommit to the activation of the legs. Press through both heels and the balls of both feet. Root both thigh bones down in their respective directions. Take the strap or the big toe or just support in some way the left leg with the right hand. As you take that left leg gently across to the right side body. Right toes flexed and active, pointing straight up. Right inner thigh grounding down. Lift that left heel towards the height of your hip or even higher if you can. And circumferentially root that outer left hip down towards your right heel. Soften your abdomen back and turn it back to the left here. 3 more deep, long breaths. Using the breath to expand, open with the inhale, and soften, release, and let go with your exhale. Once you've had 3 breaths, you can inhale back to center, release your foot from the strap, and lower the left leg to the mat. Again, shimmy out your hips, feel the sensations in your legs, then draw your knees into your chest, rock gently from side to side, massage your low back. With an exhale, roll to your right side. Press down with your palms to lift up. Come to a comfortable seated position. Keep your eyes closed for just another moment, if that's comfortable for you. And check back in with your alignment. We're looking for that same stacking of the bones and joints in the back body plane that we created laying on our backs. We're building all of the shapes from the foundation, from the ground up. So it might feel good to inner rotate your thighs here to move the flesh of the buttocks out. You want to feel and find the sits bones at the base of your pelvis and make sure that they're grounding down evenly. If the pelvis tilts back, it becomes nearly impossible to lift and lengthen through the shoulders, the heart, the crown of the head. So if that's the case for you, sit up on a blanket or a pillow. The pelvis, both sits bones press down so that we can inhale, lift, and lengthen through the crown of our head, the tips of our ears. As you exhale, roll your shoulders together, down and into your back body. Chin parallel to the earth, jawbone slides back. When the bones and joints stack, the skeletal system supports us. We're in alignment, and a lightness comes into the body. So this week we are returning to the foundation, working a lot with the alignment of the feet and legs. And when we return to the foundation, I always invite you to think about what values and beliefs you place at the foundation of not just your yoga practice and why you show up here, but at the foundation of your life. Because the yoga practice becomes a metaphor for how we do everything, right? It becomes a little laboratory in which we can observe ourselves. And whatever structurally is at the foundation is going to have ripple effects, and if it's a misalignment, up through the whole body. Or if it's a value or a belief, it's gonna define the limits of what it is possible for you to do and be and create. This energy is first chakra energy, our connection to the earth, our pasts, our physical bodies, and also our connection to collective and communal belief systems. I have been thinking a lot about this as we are at a time in our world and our lives of tremendous upheaval. And really kind of thinking, like, since we're no longer like tribal people necessarily, or white settlers in America are not tribal, what kind of collective value system do we have? I guess I've been thinking about it as a nation and realizing that there's an incredible like double speak at the foundation of our collective reality. It's like creates a schism. It's almost like a collective gaslighting where the values are said to be freedom, justice, equality, democracy. And the reality of what those values are slavery, genocide, capitalism, exploitation. So I've known this for a long time and I'm returning to it. It's making me feel a little bit less crazy that, you know, I have been so angry, that I've been so upset, that I've been so confused and wondering how I can best direct my actions moving forward. Because it is crazy. There's a doublespeak and a schism at the base of our reality that we are supposed to pretend that we don't see. And it's all coming to the surface. In light of it, I am also placing the value of ahimsa, the first yama, which means non-harming, at the foundation of my practice and my life. How, as I become more aware, can I do better and harm less? And also, I want to place the value of change, choice, and possibility. Because change is really the only constant in our lives. We have to embrace it. We cannot cling to the past, but we can begin to shape the change that comes as we move forward. So all of these ideas about like defunding the police and placing resources back into communities with the community organizers that are already doing the social work projects to serve that community. How can we not be fearful? How can we not be defensive and stubborn? But how can we just open ourselves up to the idea that there are infinite possibilities for how to move forward, how to organize our society, how to align with what we say our values are, with how we actually care for one another in the world. So these are the thoughts for the day. With an inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. And exhale through your mouth with sound. Good. Inhale deeply once again. Exhale completely, let it all go. Inhale. And exhale. Then we will inhale to prepare the sound of Om 3 times together. Pause in silence to observe how those vibrations resonate through your body, particularly noticing where the body constricts, where sound gets stuck. Sound is one of the tools that we use in this practice to shake up and clear out the energy channels within us, and the energy channels around and between us. We will take a moment to connect more deeply to our breath, the foundational aspect of this practice and our lives. So we're going to cultivate Ujjayi breath, inhaling and exhaling through your nose, while tightening up through the back of your throat, like you're fogging up a mirror. So you can just begin and breathe at your own pace, allowing the breath to become gently audible, sounding like waves crashing on the shore, generating a focal point to steady the mind throughout the practice. In general, inhaling and exhaling through your nose slows the breath down and is calming for the nervous system. Tightening up the back of the throat further constricts the air passageway, beginning to generate a heat in the body that clears. Like, heat is another tool that we use to clear the energy channels. When you are ready, with an inhale, gently open your eyes. Come onto your hands and knees. Spread your fingers wide. As you inhale, drop your abdomen down, arch your back, gaze up. As you exhale, press down and curl your spine to the ceiling. Continue at your own pace. Sync the motions of your body with your breath. Use your breath to deepen the motions of your body. As you exhale, move in any way that feels good to you within the confines of the shapes. Remembering that this is your time to connect your mind and body, allowing the mind to listen to and receive the wisdom of your body. With an inhale, return to center, and exhale here. Inhale, lift your right leg straight behind you. Toes flexed and active, pointing down. Extend from the inner groin to the inner heel. And then inhale, lift your abdomen towards your spine and lift your left arm. Exhale, extend. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. Each inhale, drawing in and up. Each exhale, extending the body out. Looking to create balance and evenness in your pelvis. And 1 line of energy from hip to knee to ankle. With an exhale, release. Next inhale, lift your left leg straight behind you. Lifting from your inner thigh in the center of your heel as you press out from the hip to the heel. Next inhale, draw your abdomen back towards your spine and lift your right arm high. As you exhale, extend your body long. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. Looking for that balance and evenness in the pelvis. That stacking of your bones and joints in your back body plane. Length and space through the whole spine. Exhale, release. Tuck your toes and lift your hips high. Come into that V-shaped downward facing dog. Outer edge of your feet parallel with outer edge of your mat. Feet as wide as your hips. Take a slight bend in your knees, bend them right over your ankles, and use that as leverage to inhale and lift your hips high. Lift and spread your toes wide. Stretch them out. Round them down. Exhale, press your thigh bones up and back to where the wall meets the ceiling. Allow your head to hang heavy. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. Inhale, float forward into your plank pose. Always an option to lower your knees while you work the alignment in plank. There's a lift from the underside of the pose. The thigh bones lift up gently. The abdomen lifts to the spine. The back of your ribs lift to meet your shoulder blades. As you exhale, roll your shoulders down your back. Extend through the heels and the crown of the head. 1 more big inhale. And exhale, lower knees, chest, chin to the floor. Press the tops of your feet down. Inhale, lift your heart, roll your shoulders back. Low cobra. Everything on the ground, pressing firmly down into the ground to lift the heart and crown. Especially press your pinky toe down and feel how that spreads the sacrum. Every action and belief at the foundation has ripple effects through the whole structure. As you exhale, seat to heels, child's pose. Allow the weight of your hips to settle energetically towards your heels. And from the grounding of the lower body, inhale and breathe, lengthen space into each vertebrae in your spine. As you exhale, soften more deeply into your stretch. With an inhale, lift your abdomen, widen your left hip to the left as you walk your hands to the right side, placing your abdomen on your right thigh, allowing the hips to stay heavy. Breathe lengthen space into both side bodies and sides of your neck. Inhale to center and exhale again. Release. Widen your right hip gently to the right as you inhale, lift the abdomen and walk your hands to the left. Place your abdomen on your left thigh for a few deep, long breaths. Feeling how the grounding of the lower body gives you leverage to stretch the torso. Inhale back to center and exhale. Good. Inhale, rise, hands and knees, arch your back, gaze up. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips high, press back. Downward facing dog. Again, creating a V shape with your body. If your hips or lower back or hamstrings are tight, it's useful to bend your knees, keeping the knees as wide as the ankles, giving you the leverage to everybody. Inhale and lift from the back of the knees up. To lift the abdomen, lift your hips high. As you exhale, press your thigh bones back, just like we did when we were stretching our legs on the floor. Feel that action, lengthen your lower back. Allow your head to hang heavy. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. With each inhale, lift and spread your toes more. Feel that engage the muscles in your legs. And as you exhale, stretch them out, ground them down, pressing through the 4 corners of the feet, even if the heels don't touch the ground. Good. 1 more big breath. And with an inhale, begin to walk your feet forward to meet your hands. Come into a standing forward bend at the front of your mat. Feel free to bend your knees if that helps ground your palms. Let your head be heavy. Shake your head out, yes, and no. Grab opposite elbows and sway. Move in any way that feels good to release tension from the back, the shoulders, and the neck, letting it all go through the crown of the head. With an inhale, return to center, and exhale. Release. Next, inhale, reach your arms up and overhead, come to stand. Exhale, release your arms down by your sides. Good. So we are getting really intentional and conscious of what we're doing and how we stand, Tadasana, mountain pose. As we have spoken about, a small misalignment at the foundation causes compensation and misalignment and ripple effects up through the whole body. One of the most empowering things about this practice is that with mindfulness and with awareness, we can change how we physically stand, how we hold ourselves, create more space, ease, freedom, and less physical pain in the body. This lets us know that we can make changes in other areas of our lives as well. So again, feet as wide as the hips, outer edge of your feet turned parallel with outer edge of the mat. That is gonna rotate the thigh bone into the hip socket all the way up the leg. Lift and spread your toes and feel how that draws the energy up the front of the shins. Feel how it lifts the arch of your foot, which supports your inner leg, inner groin, pelvic floor, organs, entire body, right? So lifting and spreading the toes to activate the arch and then lowering the toes down, but keeping your arch lifted. Thigh bones back so the center of the hips come over the knees and ankles. With your thigh bones back, root your tailbone down. Lift your frontal hip bones and lift your abdomen, your heart, and your crown. Turn your palms to face forward. So roll your shoulders back. Chin parallel to the earth, slide your jawbone back. Looking for that same stacking of the bones and joints in the back body plane. Inhale, reach your arms up. Turn your palms to face each other as you stretch through your fingertips, and then soften your shoulders down your back, away from your ears. Press down from your tailbone through your heels to lift up from your tailbone through your fingertips and the crown of your head. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. Hasta Tadasana. Hands up, Tadasana.
is the same alignment that you'll eventually have in your handstand pose. So anywhere that the body feels compressed, crunched, know that that means you want to make adjustments to create more space. With an exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold more deeply. We're going to do that a couple more times. Perfectly fine to work with the knees bent, but think about lifting from the back of your knees up as you press from the back of your knees down. Inhale, lift your gaze, lift your abdomen. Press your thigh bones back as you draw your heart forward. And exhale, fold. 3 more times at your own pace. Just exploring these actions. Inhale, gaze forward, get length. Exhale, step your left leg back. Lower your left knee down. Right knee stacks over the ankle, stacking the bones and joints for optimal alignment and support. You can keep your hands grounded here. You can bring them up onto your front thigh and straighten your arms. Or you can reach your arms up and overhead. Either way, as you inhale, hug your legs energetically towards each other. And as you exhale, sink more deeply into the stretch. Tailbone roots down, center of the buttocks moves forward. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. And with that third exhale, release your hands. Straighten your front leg. Shift your weight back over your back knee. Flex your front foot for a runner's or half split stretch. Inhale, lift your abdomen. And exhale, fold forward over that straight front leg. Finding the stacking of the bones and joints in the back leg that supports you. Finding the edge of the shape where you both feel the stretch and can sustain it. And then breathe into it. Good. With an inhale, lift your gaze. Exhale, bend your front knee. Inhale, step your back foot forward. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, lift your abdomen to lengthen your spine. Exhale, right leg back this time. Lower your right knee down. Choose your own adventure. You can keep your hands grounded for support. You can bring them onto the front thigh and straighten your arms. Or you can lift them up and overhead. But either way, as you inhale, scissor the legs towards each other. And as you exhale, root your tailbone down. Take the center of your buttocks forward and sink more deeply into your stretch. 3 more deep, long breaths. And exhale, release. Shift your weight back as you straighten your front leg. That hips now stack over your back knee. The left leg is straight and the foot is flexed and active. Pulling from the heel back into the hip socket, so we're not like, our hips are facing forward, they're not opening to the side. Inhale, lift your abdomen. And exhale, fold more deeply. Find that edge of the shape for yourself and breathe into it. Pressing the thigh bone down. Inhale, lift your gaze. Exhale, bend your front knee. Inhale, step your back foot forward. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale, release your arms back down to your sides. Check back in with the alignment at your foundation. Notice if you have a tendency to put one foot forward, to turn one foot out more than the other. Bring it back to center. Outer edge of your feet parallel with outer edge of the mat. Lift and spread your toes as you take your thigh bones back. Center of your buttocks draws into the midline to root down as you lower your toes. Feel that hugging of the muscles into the bones that stabilizes your connection to the earth. And inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Again, over the legs, feel free to bend your knees. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen your spine. Exhale, step your left leg back again. Right knee stacks over the right ankle. You're welcome to lower the back knee down or to play with keeping it lifted this time. Same actions. As you inhale, you're hugging your legs towards each other like scissors. It's engaging the inner thigh and inner groin muscles, lower abdomen, pelvic floor, lifting you out of the pose a little bit. Maintain that compaction at the center as you then stretch in opposite directions. Next, inhale, lift your right arm up. Palm faces the same direction as your face as you press out through the hands to get the leverage to roll your shoulders together down and into your back body. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. And exhale, release. Inhale, step your back foot forward. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen. Exhale, right leg back. Tap your front knee over your front ankle. Lower your back knee down if you did so on the other side. Inhale and pull your legs towards each other energetically, bringing the hips to face forward. Keep that in the same time. The energy moves in opposite directions at once. Press through the back heel and the crown of your head. Inhale, lift your left arm up. Left palm is open in the same direction as your face. And by pressing out through your hands, you gain the leverage to roll your shoulder blades together down and into your back body. 3 breaths. And exhale, release. Inhale, step your back foot forward, get length. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead, come to stand. Exhale, release your arms down by your sides. Tadasana. Check back in with your foundation. Make whatever adjustments you need to make to return your body to center. And the next shape we're going to take is a chair pose. You can take chair pose with your feet together or your feet apart. But when you bend your knees, they need to bend in alignment with your ankles because the knee is a hinge joint. The knee can actually go past the ankles here, but we don't want our feet turned out and our knees going in. That's going to strain your inner knee over time. And I literally see it every class, even though I give this instruction. So really pay attention to what you're doing. With an inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, sit back. Stick your booty out to get low, thigh bones back. And then draw the center of your buttocks into the midline to root your tailbone down. Lift your frontal hip bones. Lift through the fingertips, the crown of your head. Soften your shoulders down your back. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. And inhale, rise. Exhale, release your arms by your sides. I'm gonna take a moment to pause the video on Instagram or whatever, because it only gives us an hour. So yeah, have a drink of water, take a moment for yourself, and then we'll return with standing poses. Here we go. There you are. And here we are again. Okay. So we'll do some standing poses, some balancing poses, and then we'll wind down. Take your feet wide, outer edge of your feet parallel with outer edge of your mat. Arms out to your sides. Turn your left foot in slightly and your right foot out all the way. Lift and spread your toes. Feel the arch of your foot lift. Draw the energy in and up through the inner leg, inner groin to the pelvic floor. And exhale, take a deep bend in your knee right over your ankle. This back thigh bone turns in slightly, grounding the femur into the hip socket, and then it presses back. Both thigh bones press back. So the back, hip, knee, and ankle are in one line of energy. As you inhale again, hug your legs towards each other. Lift your low abdomen. Root your tailbone down. As you exhale, extend in all directions. Gaze over your front fingertips. 3 more deep, long breaths. Notice how the mind turns when the practice gets tough. Inhale, straighten your front legs. Turn the outer edge of your feet parallel with the outer edge of the mat. Then the right foot in slightly and the left foot out all the way. Press through your heel to hug the muscles into the bones all the way at the top of the thigh. That's where the leg turns out. And then exhale and deep bend in your knee. That back thigh bone is back in line with the knee and ankle of the back leg and inner rotating slightly. The front thigh bone presses back as well because we need to keep the knee over the ankle. Hips fully open in the side body plane. Tailbone roots down right between the sits bones. And then inhale, draw in and up from the floor to the core. Exhale, extend out in all directions. Gaze over your front fingertips. 3 more deep, long breaths. Feeling the tension in your body. Feeling the quality of your breath. Feeling the speed of the thoughts through your mind. Inhale, straighten your leg. Turn the outer edge of both feet parallel with the outer edge of your mat. Hands on your hips. Inhale, lift and spread your toes. Stretch them out. Ground them down. Next inhale, lift your abdomen, your heart, and your crown. Exhale, fold forward, hinging at your hips. You can bring your hands down to the floor, under your shoulders, or you can walk the hands back between your feet, fingertips facing towards your face, and let your head hang heavy. Wherever you are, again, lift and spread your fingers and toes, stretch them out, ground them down. From that grounding, lift your hips, lift your shoulders away from your ears. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. Inhale, lift your abdomen and your gaze. Bring your hands to your hips. Once again, with an inhale, you ground down to lift up, draw the elbows together on your back. Beautiful work. Turn your left foot in slightly and your right foot out all the way. We're gonna build on the past shape. So back thigh bone back in line with your knee and ankle. Exhale a deep bend in your front knee right over your front ankle. This time, stretch the right fingertips forward. Stretch from the tailbone through your back heel. Bring your elbow to your knee or your fingertips to the floor behind your foot. Check back in at the foundation. Lift and spread your toes. Stretch them out. Ground them down. Make sure this back thigh bone is in line with the knee and ankle of the back leg. And from your tailbone, root down towards your back heel. From that grounding, stretch your arm over your ear. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. As you inhale, hug your legs together. Draw your abdomen back. As you exhale, stretch through the back heel, the fingertips, and turn your abdomen and gaze up to stack the shoulders. With your next inhale, rise. Straighten your front leg. Turn the outer edge of the feet parallel with the outer edge of the mat. Then the right foot in slightly and the left foot out all the way. Exhale that deep bend in your front knee, tracking it right over your ankle. Press from your tailbone through your back heel and stretch your torso in the opposite direction, bringing your elbow to your knee or your fingertips to the floor behind your foot. Returning to the foundation, lift and spread your toes, stretch them out, round them down. From your tailbone, press through your back heel, and inhale, reach your arm over your ear. Stretch in opposite directions to create one long line of energy through your body. 3 breaths. Inhale, hugging in and up from the floor to the core. And as you exhale, stretching and also opening the chest to the ceiling. Beautiful. Inhale, rise, straighten that front leg. Turn your feet, making sure the thigh bones are back, hips, knees, and ankles stack. Lift and spread your toes. Stretch them out, ground them down. Inhale, lift your abdomen, your heart, and crown. Exhale, fold forward. Bringing your hands to the floor under your shoulders. We're gonna twist. Keep your left hand grounded. Bring your right hand onto your sacrum, that triangular bone at the base of your spine. You're gonna widen your left inner thigh to the left to stabilize your pelvis as you lift your abdomen and lift your right arm up. Palm faces the same direction as your face. Widening that left hip to the left, press out through your palms and roll your shoulders together down and into your back. 3 breaths. Exhale, release. Fold forward deeply, let your head hang heavy, give yourself a moment. And then inhale, lift your abdomen and lift your gaze again. Press or ground your right hand under your face. Bring your left hand onto your sacrum. Widen your right inner thigh to the right. It provides that equal and opposite force to stabilize the pelvis. So the twist happens at the abdomen and the shoulders stack. Inhale, lift your abdomen and lift your left arm up. Left hand faces the same direction as your face. Press through your palms to roll your shoulders together down and into your back. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. Continuing to widen that right hip to the right to stabilize your pelvis. And exhale, release. Let your head hang heavy again. Have a breath. Then bring your hands onto your hips. Draw your elbows together on your back. Root down to rise. step or jump your feet together. We'll do one balancing pose before we wind back down. You can shift your weight to your right foot, lift and spread your toes, stretch them out, ground them down. Gaze straight forward, find a focal point to steady your gaze, and inhale, bend your left knee. You can choose your own adventure here. You can, returning the knee out, you can kickstand your toes by your ankles. You can bring your foot to press into your calf, or you can take your foot all the way up past your knee joint and press the foot and the inner thigh together. Start with your hands at your hips and feel that you are pressing your standing thigh bone back so the hip, the knee, and the ankle stack. Then rooting the tailbone and the lifted thigh bone down. From that grounding of the lower body, we get the leverage to lift the torso. You can bring your hands to the heart. Everything hugs into the center of your body, and we press down to lift up. You can keep your hands together or take them as wide as your shoulders. Wherever you're working, let's have 3 more deep, long breaths. Amazing. With an inhale, the hands to the heart and the knee comes to center. Exhale, release down. Maybe your foot is on fire and you want to rotate your ankle a little bit. Balancing poses are tough. So they really allow us to observe how we talk to ourselves when things get hard, right? So we're going to let go of whatever just happened on that side. Inhale deeply, reach your arms up. Exhale completely through your mouth with sound. And renew our efforts for the other side. Remembering that it's just a practice and just a play. Spread your left toes, outer edge of your left foot parallel with outer edge of your mat. Press down through the big toe and lift your right knee. Choose the same adventure that you chose on the other side. Maybe kickstanding the foot at the ankle, maybe pressing the foot into the calf, maybe taking the foot all the way up past the knee joint. The foot and the leg press together for stability, and we don't want to press sideways into our knee joints. Hands at the heart. Everything hugs into the midline of your body. That standing thigh bone is back and the lifted thigh bone roots down, so the pelvis is evenly grounded. From that grounding, inhale and lift your arms up. You can keep your hands together or take your hands apart. Wherever you're working, recommit to that focal point to steady your gaze and have 3 more deep, long breaths. Feeling how our balance is never really static, but it's a constant dance and renegotiation between all of these opposing forces within and around us. With an inhale, return to center, and exhale, release down. Come back to the top of your mat, and with an inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen your spine. Exhale, ground your palms, step back. You can come to downward facing dog or child's pose. Whatever feels supportive for you in this moment. Return your awareness to your breath and check back in with the quality of your breath, the tension in the body, the speed of your thoughts through your mind. Good. And then let's come all the way onto the abdomen. Interlace your hands behind your back. Press your pinky toenails into the floor as you inhale and lift your chest. Lift your arms away from your back body. Feel what's happening in your neck. If it's crunching, you might want to drop your chin a little bit. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. Stretching back through the toes. And with an exhale, release. Turn your head to one side. Gently shake out your hips. Good. One more time, switch out the crossing of your fingers behind your back. Inhale, lift your chest. Press your pinky toes down. Stretch out through your toes. And then lift your legs up as well. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. And exhale, release. Turn your head to the other side this time. Gently sway your hips from side to side. Allowing yourself to completely let go after all of that hard work. And then we'll roll over onto our backs. Bend your knees and ground your feet in close to your buttocks. Make sure your feet are facing forward. Outer edge of your feet parallel with outer edge of your mat. Press the back of your head and shoulders into the mat. They become your foundation here. Press the back of your arms down as you inhale and lift your pelvis, your low back, your middle back for bridge pose. If it feels good, you can interlace your hands beneath your back to roll your shoulders under. You can also just roll your palms to face up. Whatever's on the ground is your foundation. It presses down firmly to lift the hips and lift the heart. The heart is the focal point of this pose. From the heart, extend out through your knees. From your heart, extend out through your crown. Have 1 more big breath here. And exhale, release the hips. Sway your knees gently from side to side. And then draw your knees all the way into your chest. Rock from side to massage your low back. With an exhale, drop your knees to the right and spread your arms wide. Gaze straight up towards the ceiling or shift your gaze over your left fingertips. Have 5 deep, long breaths. Moving towards stacking the hips. To breathe, lengthen space into the spine and soften the shoulders back towards the floor. Remember that if something is pinching in your back or doesn't feel right, your job is to listen to your body, to back off it, to make adjustments. With an inhale, you can return to center. Once again, rock gently from side to side. Massage your low back. With an exhale, drop your knees to the left side. Stacking the hips to open the shoulders. Gaze up or over the right fingertips. Have 5 deep, long breaths. Each inhale, breathing length and space into your spine. Each exhale, softening more deeply into this process of being wrung out. Letting go of the collective beliefs that are not serving us and making space for new ideas, new energy, new structures that do less harm.
that honor the foundational principle of yoga, ahimsa, non-harming. Inhale it back to center. And squeeze yourself into a little ball. Tighten up the muscles in the feet, the legs, the abdomen, the arms, the face. Bring your nose to your knees and inhale, squeeze. Exhale. Relax, release, and open into Shavasana. Final relaxation. The feet can rest as wide as the hips, falling outward. If there's any discomfort in your lower back when you're laying flat on your back like this, you can always put your knees up on the chair or the couch, or just bend the knees, take the feet as wide as the mat, and then let the knees fall together. So the low back is supported and the legs can relax. Your palms rest facing up at like a 30-degree angle from the body. And if your chin is jutting up above your forehead here, you may want to place a blanket or a pillow under your head. When the chin is jutting forward or up, the body is in fight or flight mode. And if the forehead is just gently lifted above the chin, the body can soften back into rest and digest. Return your awareness to your breath. And allow it to be so deep and so long that it touches down into the bottoms of your feet and the tips of your toes. As you exhale, allow any residual tension, anxiety, self-doubt to leave your body with your breath through your fingertips. So this practice is a practice of emptying ourselves out, becoming more and more clear channels and vessels to shape and direct and manifest the changes we'd like to see in the world. Return your awareness to your breath. Allow it to flow through you, easy and natural, just as it is. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Gently sway your head. With an inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Give yourself a big stretch from fingertips to tippy toes. Exhale here. Inhale, draw your knees into your chest. And exhale, roll to your right side body. Pause in this fetal position. Gather your bearings, move slowly. As you press down with your palms to lift up, return to a comfortable seated position. Keep your eyes closed for just another moment. Check back in. Observe the quality of your breath, the tension in your body, the speed of your thoughts through your mind after your practice. And then anchor your awareness more fully on your breath. We will seal our collective efforts with a single Om. Allow your low body to be heavy, and from that grounding, inhale, lift and lengthen through your heart, crown of your head. As you exhale, soften your shoulders down your back and lean back. Stack the vertebrae. Align this internal antenna within us that connects us to all things. Inhale deeply to prepare. Bring your hands to your heart and bow your head in gratitude for the tools of this practice that remind us there are infinite possibilities and that we can always renew our efforts, do more and do better to consciously cause less harm in the world around us. Thank y'all for being here and practicing with me. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Tyler. See you later.
Did it end up